There are few things in life that are as nice to look at as a cornfield glistening across the sunset. Obviously that would be real life. This is not real life. This is just a computer simulation. But we are back in FS17. I never thought I'd say that, to be honest. I went to FS19 and then made like 2 videos, both of which were terrible. Do not watch them. And then Farm Sim kind of left my channel and just died off. And about that time ETS2 was picking up, so that happened, and then I never really came back to it. So why am I back in FS17? Well, I'll talk about that while we harvest this. We're going to be harvesting this barley field. It's not terribly big. It's not big at all, actually. It's just this. I do need to watch out for those power lines, though. The combine and header are already here. I do need to go move the trailer from the last field. And we have a slight problem. That being that this road, which you turn off and you go this way to get to the field, you got potatoes on this side, corn on this side, and then if I speed down here, there's our field, and then back here is a river. So there's not actually anywhere to get the header off, but if we... let me fix my walking speed, because that's bothering me. If you go across this little bitty log bridge to back here, there's like some space on this little island, so I figured I'd put the header on here and then just like finagle it over that bridge to get it there. I have no idea if it's gonna work. This video may end with me falling in the drink, but we'll see how it goes. Right, what was I talking about? I don't know. Tab, nope, that's the one I want. This thing, my Massey Ferguson with the Stewart trailer. Roll that over. Crank her up. We're taking this to... I don't know the name of it. It's a place just up the road where we're going to sell this grain and then take it out to the next field. So, when was the last FS17 video? I don't remember specifically which one it was, although I can guess. I think it was the video I was doing a mic test and I was driving a Coloss Lexion down some like really crappy roads and trying to get to a field which I then harvested, and it made for a terrible video, but that was okay. I don't know if it was specifically that one. I think it was. But anyway. So, looking at this, a lot has changed since the last FS17 video you saw. So what has changed? Obviously the mic. I'm using an actual, real, good mic now, and not the piece of crap I used to use. We're using reshade now. I don't know if you've noticed, but FS17 with reshade looks fantastic when you're not getting hit by cars. And then what else? Obviously the graphics are turned up because I'm actually using a decent PC now. And yeah. Okay, so why did I abandon FS19 and come back to a sim that's 2 years older? Why would I do that? Why did I do that? Well, to start with, FS19, I feel like for every step forward they took with it, in other areas they took 2 steps back. And I know that sounds weird if you look at the trailer or the graphics of FS19, you're like, oh, FS19 looks amazing. And it does when you get it tuned correctly. But among many things. The optimization was horrible, especially on slower computers. The mods were... some of them were good, like the Sandy Bay map I reviewed. Like, some things like that did take a step forward, and they kept getting better. Some things, on the other hand, took a massive step back, primarily being the physics. I can sit in FS17 and drive, and while it's not the most realistic thing ever, obviously, it works. I feel like I'm driving genuine vehicles, to a certain degree. Obviously, ETS physics have done better with the heavy vehicle side of that, but regardless, in FS19, the physics are just awful. And it feels like... so I'm driving with a flight sim yoke and pedals, is because that's my flight sim kit, so I just use that to drive in farm sim. I'm driving with that, and if I just stop real quick and show you, see how slowly I can ease forward by going just a little bit on the pedal? Those micro movements, that bit of realism, you don't get that with FS19, and I don't know why. I had it set up the same exact way. The same exact way. I played with the settings, I tried everything. It goes from 0 to like half a mile an hour instantly. There's no easing onto it, no in between, as it were. And personally, that drove me up the wall. But anyway, so that, and among many other things, FS19, it wasn't, I know it sounds like I'm hating on it, I'm not. It wasn't bad. It had its good parts, but as an overall farm sim, FS17 just takes it all day. Plus the mods you can get for 17, like, it's almost ridiculous how many you can get. I've got probably close to 20 gigabytes. Probably more than that. Now, I haven't recorded farm sim lately, so it's going to look laggy to you, but that's because I have the graphics cranked up and I'm recording at 60 FPS, which may have been a bad idea. But I can go back in later and turn them down once I know if it lags or not. Alright, I forgot to introduce this. This is the T670i with the 30-foot header, or 9-meter header for you metric pelicans. Right, now this is a problem I frequently run into. I use this header trailer because it's the most stable. The header prefers to stay on it, but the downside is most combines don't lift up high enough to get the thing off. So usually, I also can't see, I'm gonna turn my lights on. Usually, you can do one of two things. You can wiggle it until you get one side, like you get it crooked, get one side to slide off, and then you can usually get the other side off. You can do that, which doesn't really work here. Or, you can take whatever is towing the trailer, and in theory you can slide it out from under the header. That usually never works though. See, it just does this, it just drags it sideways. Floor it, come on. Yeah, okay, that's not working. So usually what I wind up doing is going backwards and then just flooring it and hoping it catches on the tractor, which it just did, and then it'll come off. Not the most realistic thing ever, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I'm gonna go shut this off before I forget. So I won't have to do this when I leave because I'll have harvested the field and I'll have room. I can go put the header back on the trailer. Bunch of weeds around here. Alright, shimmy up in here. Throw the PTO on. Pull the divider spikes out before I forget. Yeah, just whack myself in the head with it, why don't I? Oh, that was laggy right there. Paying tribute to FS11. Some of you will get that joke. Right, how is the frame rate actually? Like right this second it says 60, it's 50 something now. When I turn this way, it gets laggy. See, it's still in the 50s, but it's just those weird numbers. It starts to look laggy. Alright, this is the hard part. I gotta get... Alright, round that tree. I'm back this way. I'm not sure how much of these shrubs are like morphable or if they're solid objects, so just gotta be careful with it. The combine, oh gosh. The combine itself fits on the bridge with about a foot on each side to spare, roughly. But from the cab it looks a lot worse. The sun is also glaring right in on the window, so I can't see. Good night, that is sketchy. Oh, what was that? Nope, 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 nope. It just like dropped for half a second, but it kept going. Alright. The things I do to prevent running over people's crops. Alright, gotta watch that tree. I'm gonna have to knock down some of this corn because I can't get in. Alright, I wonder if I can... Oh, that track is real close to the edge. Alright, wait. Back up. Go back forward. Let's go this way. Ease it forward. Ease it forward. Ease it. Well, watch the back tire. Okay, I think we're off. Totally smashing this guy's corn, but I'll apologize to him later. It's fine. Alright, are we off the bridge? Yeah, we're off the bridge. Okay. Speed selectors set, lights, blah, 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 blah. Combine's unfolded. Divider spikes, PTO. I did the PTO, right? Yep. Okay. Alright. Let me pick that reel up a little bit. Usually, like, front to back, I leave it about where it is. Centered over the end of the cutter bar. But it's fine. Just pick it up a little bit. Alright. Let's turn the thing on. And we'll get going. Why is it not... Oh, okay. That was weird. It like wouldn't cut for a second and then it did. Okay, whatever. We are on the Stop and Bach map, for anybody that was wondering. Which I must say, sky colors, 10 out of 10. They did fantastic with that. The clouds even move, which supposedly is something that didn't come around till FS17, but you'll see them on this specific map. They will move around a little bit. I don't know if the skybox rotates or how exactly they worked that, but I've also noticed the glare on this windshield is ridiculous. I can't see. I also can't see my tractor. And stop. And go. Nope. Pick that reel up. I tell you one thing I do miss from FS19 is there was a mod that would let you move the header up and down like a front loader axis. So I had a button on my yoke, this little hat switch, so up and down, and I could move the header instead of it being just up or down like it is. So I do miss that. It was a script mod. I tried converting it back to FS17, which is why I'm not a modder, because that failed epically and it didn't work. So I kind of abandoned that. Believe it or not, there are still people who are doing multiplayer in FS17. I didn't think there would be, but there was. And I tried joining one, earlier today even. And either they were all broke, so I couldn't actually get in. Or, well, I could, but there wasn't anything for me to do because they were all broke. Or they wouldn't, like the owner wouldn't let me in. So I finally said, forget it, I'll go film on one of my things. I have had to cheat the system a bit, because if you remember in FS17, you can use your own equipment for contracts. That was one thing they did do right. However, FS17 you can't. Well, I'm doing custom harvesting, quote unquote, right now, but I kind of have to cheat the system to pull it off. What I do is find field that you want to, and I use this term loosely, harvest for somebody. You then buy the field, harvest it, and then sell the field again. But you can't sell the field because there's no way to sell the field, so you have to actually leave and then unbuy the field in the XML. It's a whole complicated process, but you get the point. You start with not owning the field and you end with not owning the field. The crop is then harvested, so you, in loose terms, harvested it for somebody. That's my way of getting around that. You also may notice that I'm not driving at 60 bajillion miles an hour like every other flippin' YouTuber who drives virtual combines. Okay, that was a bit harsh. They don't all do it, but a lot of them who haven't driven a real combine do. I could go fast. Actually, I probably will. Let's see if we can go... We'll go 3. Because I'm feeling ambitious. But no, the whole floor it and drive around at 7 miles an hour harvesting... No. Just no. Why would... No. Just no. Turn. This field, I noticed when I was driving in, the guy planted it really close to the river. So IRL, I would be expecting it to be boggy. But, you know, it's farm sim, so that's not going to happen. If I back up here... Do I have the stop and go braking on? Off, even. I think it is. I've also realized that if your frame rate is not at perfect 60 or 30, the reel is not smooth. See, like right now, we're getting 40 FPS, which isn't bad, but the header reel is like jittery because it's not on a perfect divisible of 60, which would be 30. If I was to go in the developer panel and limit the frame rate to 30, it would actually look smoother. Which doesn't make, you know, in theory that doesn't make any sense, but I don't know, farm sim is weird like that. Frame rates are weird like that. In Euro Truck, what the heck? Oh, it's 50% full. In Euro Truck, anything below solid 60, you can immediately tell. Farm sim, 30 looks better than 48. I don't know why that works, but it's... Yeah, I know I don't own this field. Shut up. I don't know why that works, but 30 or 60 is good. Anything between 30 and 60 is not. It's weird. Put the header back down. So that always confuses me. And then X-plane, anything that's above 25, is 25 and 30 and 40 and 60 look all the same in X-plane. Because it's something about the way the flight sim works. It doesn't need as many frames for an accurate simulation. It's a whole long, arduous journey that I'm not gonna bother delving into at the moment. I will say, game time, it is 9 till 8, I think. Yeah, What's 19 in military time? 7, right? Yeah. I should know how to use a 24-hour clock. I do to a point. It takes me like half a second to figure out what the hour is, but I'm getting used to it. Kilometers is another thing I'm trying to get used to. Although this I have is set in miles. But like in Euro Truck, I drive in kilometers. And I've actually gotten used to it because of that. Now I was thinking the other day, if I was to do an X-Plane video, like with a mic and stuff, I'm not entirely sure how I would do it, because I know you can't see it, but what I've done essentially is when the mic was sat on the desk, it was too far away from my face, so it was harder to hear me. I could turn it up, but as a result you'd hear more background noise. So what I eventually did was I rigged up a system. I basically cut out a cardboard thing and then hot glued another thing on beneath the thing, and it's got a styrofoam piece with a little cutout hole in it, and then another thing beneath tied to the that makes no sense, does it? Long story short, I've made a thing where I can mount my microphone on top of the yoke, and I used the little, put the header down, I used the little throttle lever and stuff, the flight throttle, to hold it. I push it one way and I push the prop lever the other way, and it basically holds it in place because of the little thing I rigged up on it. And that works fine for farm sim and ETS because I don't need those. But for X-Plane, obviously for flying, I would need that. So I'm not entirely sure. Hello. I'm not entirely sure what I would do if I did an X-Plane video like that. But I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, so yeah, I would. Oh, what's that? 80% bin full. Okay. I would like to do some more farm sim content. One reason I came back was I was getting tired of ETS. Well, not tired of it, but you know, you do a certain thing for a certain amount of time and you start to get kind of burned out on it. I was getting burned out on ETS, and I kind of missed my farms and driving combines and stuff, so I whipped out FS17 initially, but I just didn't get the same amount of, I didn't feel like I had the same amount of realistic immersion, if that makes any sense. Which sounds counterintuitive because it has the dynamic lighting and the dynamic sky and all that kind of crap, but nah. This is all I need right here. Now if you ask my dad, he doesn't even want FS17. He'll say FS13 because he had the mods and he had exactly what he needed. And I feel that. I mean, I started, oh gee, when did I start? I started doing farm sim. FS13 had just come out. And I need to dodge this pole. And I had been following, I've been watching FS11 content on YouTube for a while before that. And being as I kind of grew up on combines, I started getting interested in it. So my dad got me FS13 for Christmas that year. It had just come out. And oh gosh, I don't even know how many gameplay hours I had in FS13. Then, later on down the line, FS15 came out. And I started looking at it, and I debated getting, oh shoot, I'm full. And I debated getting FS15, and then I didn't. Because when I watched videos of it, I was like, I didn't see enough improvement from 13. Plus 13 I had all my farms, all my mods. I was like, I don't feel like switching systems right now. So I stayed with 13. Then 17 came out, and I really didn't pay any attention to it at first, I'll be honest. I was looking at FS13, not just playing that. And the more I watched FS17 videos, the more I was like, dang, okay, that's really a step up from... that's really a step up from FS13. So the more I looked at it, the more I was like, alright, I think that's the next way to go. So we did. It was actually me and my dad and my brother. We all split the cost, pitched in, and got FS17. My brother, who cares nothing about farming, he just wanted to drive the trains. That was all he wanted to do. So he did that for about a week and then got tired of it and moved on. And my dad was busy doing other things, so that basically left FS17 up to me. And yeah, I just started farming with that, and the graphical improvements and just the improvements of everything, really. I liked the way the physics felt, so I was happy with that. I stayed here. I've had I don't know how many farms over the years. Too many to count, but I've still got some that are still around. This isn't a farm per se. I just kind of drive this combine around, stop and balk, and harvest random fields. So this isn't one of my main farms, but I've got a farm with the On the Hills map, which is amazing. And I've got a little over 100 hours on that one, which I know sounds crazy that anybody could play a farming sim for that long, but I've got, I think it's 111 hours in that one. Then I've got one on the West Coast where I have a Lexion, and I do custom harvesting kind of like this, but it's more pronounced. Mainly wheat and barley, and then I run kind of a harvesting and storage company. So basically I can go harvest it for people, and then also run my own kind of grain elevator and store it and ship it around for them, etc. So that one I've got 153 hours, I think. Most of which are me driving a Lexion. It's a Lexion 600, I think. Yeah, it's a 600 with a 10.5 meter header, which is 35 feet for my American friends. And then, yeah, those are my two main ones. And then I've got one that's on Lone Oak Farm, where I have a 2388 combine, and that one is 50 something hours. So yeah, and that's not even counting my very first farm on Goldcrest Valley. I had, gosh, I probably had close to 200 hours on that one. I didn't look, but the only ones I still have today are the West Coast one, the Lone Oak one, the On the Hills one, this one that I tinker around with, and then a couple other random ones. But mainly that's it. So I've got, gosh, I don't even know how many hours I've got in the FS17. That used to be the thing. Like, you know, now I go in ETS multiplayer and record around or whatever. Some of you people that have been around my channel a while remember it. Farm Sim used to be, that was the thing. I went in Farm Sim multiplayer and everybody moved on to FS19, and I didn't. I did later and then came back. But yeah, so I remember some of the first Farm Sim videos I ever did were recorded at, don't laugh, 18 FPS, because I was running on a toaster of a PC, had no clue what frame rates were, I had just heard that if you turn down the frame rate, then your computer won't die so much. So yeah, I tried that, and then yeah. Anyway, lots of multiplayers and videos later. Here we are. I did get FS19 from Epic Games, actually. Had a special thing they were doing for, I think it was like 2 days. You could get FS19 free. So I did. Thought that was where I was going. Thought that FS19 was gonna be it. I was moving on. Bye bye 17. Thank you for the good times. I'm moving on. Yeah, no, that lasted about, I don't know, dare I say 6 months? If that. It lasted about, yeah, I think that's right, about 6 months. Between the toaster PC and then this new PC. FS19, I tried to make friends with it, and it kindly refused. So I did it for a little while. Then I kind of gave up because I didn't get hooked in it. Like this farm sim, I get hooked in it pretty easily. There we go. But why is that smoking? Anyway, this farm sim I can get hooked in pretty easily and get immersed and lose track of time and what I'm doing. FS19, I just couldn't. I don't know why. It didn't have that same feel to it, that same match. And I know this sounds ridiculous, like when you're talking about a farm sim, but anybody who's played both of them can probably attest to what I'm saying. But anyway, I gave up on that, and that was when my ETS2 content started ramping up. So I started doing that, and then farm sim more or less just died off the channel. I kind of quit. Not quit caring about it. I still cared about it, but I didn't care for making content on it because I didn't think FS19 was. Plus, my microphone was horrendous back then. I only did, I think, 2 videos on FS19. One was reviewing Sandy Bay, which my video making was terrible, but the map itself was good. And then the other one was doing silage crap somewhere. I don't even remember. Anyway, I'll pull this around. So I gave up after a while. And then fold these in. Finally, one day, I'd been thinking about it for like a month. I was like, man, I miss FS17. I wish I could get back in, you know, drive my Lexion or my 2388 or now this combine. And I was like, man, I want to go back to that. And I fought with my own head for about a month. And then finally hunted down the email that had the product key, etc. in it. And got the installer and put it back in on my new PC. So it runs fantastically, and I ported over my farms and mods from the toaster PC. So it's like I never even left. It took a little while, but it's like I never even left. So yeah, FS17 is back. I don't know how much content I'm going to do on it. If there's something specific you'd like to see, tell me. Otherwise, I'll just do a video once in a while of me driving a combine. But why is it go? Okay. But yeah, there we go. FS17 still lives with me anyway. So The only people on YouTube I've still seen that do FS17 stuff are little, and I mean this nicely, but little Indian men who can not speak English, and they're running on toaster PCs doing random stuff. So hopefully I can bring some decent quality back to it, revive FS17, if you will. I still have 19, I think. I think it's still on my computer somewhere, but I just haven't used it in forever. Because especially since now I'm using reshade and I can turn the graphics up. I mean, look at this. Look at that's a backdrop right there. That is a backdrop. The shaders on this combine aren't that good, but like this tractor, look at that. That right there is why you turn the shaders up always. Doesn't matter how bad your PC is, turn the shaders up. That's this scene right here. If you crop out the John Deere bit, because the shaders are not good, but like this tractor and that lighting looks like FS19. I'm not even kidding. The reflections are really nicely done. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna put the camera right there. Alright, so that's the first FS17 video of for quite a while. I don't know when the last one was. I'll have to look. But yeah, in much better quality now, and it still lives. So if you liked this, tell me what you'd like to see next. If you didn't like this, tell me what I could do better. Either way, drop a comment. That's how that works. Yeah, that's all I got for now. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. This is LMD Productions. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you next time. Take care.